The fighting for clone ARF troopers on the Second Battle of Geonosis is compared to the Vietnam War of the Clone Wars. Countless Geonosian tunnels that need to be cleared one by the clone army are guarded by thousands of Geonosian warriors protecting their hives. And today, one of the largest of these death tunnels is being assaulted by Commander Cody's 212th Attack Battalion. A particular death tunnel labyrinth is under invasion by this massive force. Can the clone trooper army take over the Geonosian bug hive, or will they die in this brutal death tunnel charge? If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into this thing. Alrighty then, gamers, let's go ahead and press start right here. We are starting in slow-mo because there are thousands of clone troopers going up against thousands of Geonosians. So this is going to be a laggy battle, to say the least. There is Commander Cody right there. We don't get to see him in Phase 1 armor too often, so that is exciting. And as they come to the lip of the cave here, already Geonosians starting to fire their cannons against the clones. Now, these beam charges, I think is what they're called, or discharges, or plasma charge. I can't remember, bro. Either way, these big green circular boys are extraordinarily powerful. Truly, truly a thing to be reckoned, because they can two-tap clone troopers on the battlefield, and not only that, you'll notice they actually bounce off of walls a lot of the time. So even if they hit a wall, they might bounce and still end up hitting a clone trooper, so you're not always out of the woods if they miss you the first time around, because they could get a lucky ricochet shot. You can already see tons of clone troopers going down. Some are crawling, but a lot of them are dead on the battlefield right there as they begin their descent into the Geonosian catacombs here. Now, this is normally a zombie battle from the TV show. This was a map made by Rollum, but I decided to make it into a Geonosian base instead of doing the zombie thing, because the Geonosian zombies in this game are super derpy, and it's a huge catacomb map for so many zombies to be on it, and they're super laggy in the game as well. So I decided, let's do a Geonosian versus clone trooper death tunnel invasion battle instead. And already we are seeing the horrors that are the Second Battle of Geonosis, as very few Geonosians are dead on the battlefield, maybe 3 or 4, and we're looking at maybe 10 dead clones already. Oh my goodness, maybe 20 dead clones? Look at all that. Yellow are dead clone troopers, red are dead Geonosians. Geonosians are destroying the clones here, but that is, of course, why the clone trooper army has thousands of clones on the battlefield right now to attack the Geonosian forces, to make up for that horrible, horrible amount of damage that the Geonosians are going to be doing to them. It's basically a numbers game in this battle. An effort based in manslaughter, truly. Either way, guys, I just real quick wanted to announce that I am looking for some quotes for the back of my book, you know, like those testimonials you'll see on books where it's like, oh, Joe Schmo said, hey, this was a good book. So my real quick huge thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. They have literally the best deals in gaming. I use it all the time. If you like Star Wars games, Lego Star Wars for $2. Star Wars Battlefront 2 for $9. One of my favorite Star Wars games, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, $1.70. If you want to play the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod, Men of War Assault Squad 2, $3. Extremely popular games can be up to 99% off. Link in the description below. Thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get into the video. The book Army Men Blight of the Empire came out about a month ago now, and I've gotten a few reviews on Amazon, but out of the like 200 people that have gotten the book and actually read it, I only have 6 reviews, so I do need some reviews. So if you guys want to review the book on Amazon, please do so, and your name might be put onto the back cover of the book or the inside cover of the book, where I'm going to put these testimonials. So either do it under your real name, or if you want to use your username or whatever you want to be featured on the book, use that, and it will maybe be on there if the quote is, you know, good for me to put on there or whatever. So yeah, I appreciate y'all checking out the book. I have read some of the reviews on Discord and they are so nice, but if you guys would put official reviews on Amazon so I can actually put them on the book itself, that would be incredible. But thank you guys so much for all the support I've gotten towards the book so far. It has been really cool. It's been a dream of mine to release any kind of a novel for years now, and to finally do it and have it actually sell copies is an amazing experience. So either way, the link is in the description below to the book if you want to go review it. That would be awesome. It's also free if you have Kindle Unlimited to read the book, or you can get it on Kindle or paperback or hardcover if you guys want to own a copy for yourselves. Either way, we've got clone troopers continuing down the death tunnel here. Some of them just straight yeeting on forward, but it looks like they have finally managed to suppress the bugs enough that the bugs are not firing down the main tunnel. But as you can see from this guy dying over here, the side tunnels are going to be a whole other can of worms. These guys will be probably making a pretty sweet choke point out of these different angles that are pretty nice. They clearly cherry-picked where they wanted to put their defenses here in order to maximize the amount of fire going out from their buggy guns here, and so they're managing to get a lot of kills already in that choke point right there. Of course, there's these 4 bugs still alive, but these Geonosian troopers are probably going to go down. There's a grenade coming out right there. That'll probably clear out those buggies, and yep, they do stand up. And that's the problem with suppression in this game, is once your troopers actually get suppressed, they're going to stop firing pretty much entirely, and then the choke point can be cleared. So while sometimes it's a little bit annoying to see defenders get suppressed so easily, sometimes it's actually for the best, or else the attackers will never make any progress at all. But believe it or not, this first alleyway here probably going to be the easiest portion of this entire battle for the clone troopers, since they do have high ground advantage firing downwards at the enemy on a straightaway, which is going to be very helpful for them. But the future hallways are going to be a lot tougher. Red are dead clone troopers now, yellow are dead Geonosians. You can see the clones have lost a ton of troopers, but they did start to catch up with the Geonosian numbers a little bit better right there, and I am very curious to see how this little choke point ends up doing. The clones do have some cover they can take over here, so it's not a true choke point where the clones will just be out in the open getting shot like fish in a barrel. However, it is still a pretty hard choke point, I think, to overcome. So we'll see. Wow, that was a pivotal shot from that Geonosian that he missed, but his follow-up shot does get the kill right there. So it's not all bad for this boy, but what an embarrassing shot to miss in the first place right there. The clone was right there, bud! And then these guys further back over this way getting some nice shots in. The clones clapping back, though. This guy with the 2K kills, not bad. Heck yeah, boy! He does end up going down, but he took out 2 very pivotal Geonosian soldiers right there with his shots. Not too bad, baby, not too bad at all. More shots coming from these Geonosians over this way as well, doing a really nice job of clearing out the clone troopers as they get into the choke point. And then, of course, we've got Geonosians all the way back here firing as well. Okay, these are Geonosians I forgot to place, I'll be completely honest. So the clones are going to have to come through like a little hive of Geonosians all laying down over here. I think I was supposed to place them over here on some of these blank slates that are still empty, and I forgot to. Alright, so the clones are going to have to deal with that little nest of Geonosian bugs all at once, and that'll be absolutely horrifying for them. Wow, look at all of these dead clone troopers right here. Not too shabby. Geonosians are getting serious amounts of damage in on these clone troopers. Why don't we go ahead and do our very first time-lapse of this battle, since it is going to be a rather long one, and we'll watch the clone troopers getting absolutely destroyed by these bugs on this corner here. Well, that choke point lasted about 2 minutes right there before finally getting toppled. And now we are seeing a whole lot of clone troopers coming into that choke point big time. The right side is about to have another choke point here, actually with a double defense yet again of over here and over here. So this could be another disastrous area for the 212th Attack Battalion to come down. Well, hopefully it is. That's the dream for the Geonosians if you're rooting for them. Although I have an assumption that 99% of viewers watching are going to be rooting for the clone troopers. If you're rooting for the Geonosians, let me know, because you might be a unicorn in this audience. You might be one of a kind. I am very curious about this massive nest of Geonosians over here, if they're going to really be able to do anything against the clone trooper, essentially horde, coming forward over this way. That's a lot of outbound shots right there, but the accuracy of these beam guns are absolutely trash. One of them's flying through the air right now as a grenade propels it up and arcs it beautifully around. Absolutely gorgeous. But right now, I will say this area not holding out as well as I thought it would. I think a lot of those misses with the beam guns is impacting the choke point's defense ability quite a bit. I mean, if you're not making your shots, you're not making the kills. And then this side just isn't really involved in the battle as much as I would have liked. I think only really this Geonosian can get involved. Oh. That is a lot of clones locked inside the walls of the death tunnel. Periodically, I'll go ahead and scoop them out, so that way we don't have too many soldiers just trapped in a wall, because that's just goofy. That is seriously goofy, but can't really be helped. It's just a glitch that's bound to happen. Here we go. Clones rounding the corner and straight into the nest of Geonosians. We honestly are not defending well at all. Like, what is this? They are not getting any kills, really. Like one or two here or there, but beyond that, this is trash. I kind of thought like having 13 Geonosians right here by accident would have gotten a lot of kills, but no, it has resulted in essentially nothing. Essentially nothing. We do have another corridor down here, so we'll have a nice little cross-section of fire going from this alleyway and that corridor. But right now, it's not amounting to too many clone kills down this way. These Geonosians are barely picking up any kills themselves either, so that's not very good. The left side seems to be opening up a little bit more as more clones come around the corner there. Why don't we go ahead and check out the losses again real quick here. Yellow are down Geonosians, red are down clone troopers. At least at every single checkpoint, the clones are taking losses. It's just not always going to be a huge number of said losses. This corridor here does give me a lot of hope, though. I think they could do pretty well there, the Geonosians. They could, potentially. Why don't we go ahead and do a short little overhead time-lapse here so we can see the different corridors and the clone troopers coming through in the various areas, because this bird's eye view could be pretty sweet to watch. Alright guys, so this corridor over here on the left is slowly crumbling. They didn't really manage to get too many more kills. They did okay. This corridor here, very long, and I think that's actually working to the detriment of the defending buggy boys. They're not really able to get many kills because the enemy is able to kind of force their way through. Now, on the far right over this way, there are quite a number of dead clone troopers in this little corridor here. This actually seems to be a bit of a holdout area, and even Commander Cody has gone down there. Rip my boy, even with hero health, he could not pull through. That is honestly kind of tragic, if you were to ask me. Down this way, more buggy boys continue firing down the corridor to help out these guys over here. So that really works for them. They're double teaming. Oh, sorry, I moved the camera really fast there. They're double teaming these clone troopers in a really, really nice way. Why don't we watch the clones getting shot up over here in this corner? Alright guys, well it seems like the clone troopers are actually making a little bit of progress here, getting further and further down the corridor as they go, taking out a few of these guys, but the losses have been tremendous around this corner already, so that's going to be a huge setback for them. If we look at the mini-map, red are clone troopers left alive, blue are Zbugs left alive. We do have some in the walls, so they might almost act as freaking reinforcements by the end of this thing. Although, did they get out of the walls? I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and actually, we'll open up a wall here where no one is, and a wall here where no one is. Oh god, don't tell me they're gonna go for the wall now. Oh, that was so goofy. We'll open up one here at the front lines, and one here at the front lines, and one here at the front lines. That way they pop back out as well. It shouldn't impact the battle too much, but god, it's so obnoxious the way they do that. I think we are losing enough troopers to go into full speed ahead now, and we can see if the clone troopers can actually make something happen. There's a tiny little corridor here of Geonosians who are just trampling the clones, but there's not that many of them, so I have a feeling they'll go down relatively soon, but it does seem like the clones are going to get a few losses handed to them before they can make it all the way through. Some well-placed grenades there do end up solidifying the push there, but then there's another corridor right here, right after that one, with a few more bugs holding out against them. Underneath that area, we have more bugs over here. This corridor is pretty tightly packed in the very back over this way. And then it looks like actually our very, very back lines here, the final destination for the clone troopers, where the eggs are hidden for the Geonosian warriors. This is actually starting to see some combat now. The clone troopers trying to come down the death tunnel over here, getting struck down by a series of blasts from these guys, but it's not even a full load of clone troopers coming at them. It's a very small fractional force right now, as the rest of them are sort of cleaning up the back line. So as more actually funnel through here, it could get worse and worse. This area over here also starting to see clone troopers going on through. Not too many, again, like the other side, but when they do come through, there is just such a force of Geonosians over here that they're able to stomp out the clone trooper resistance very, very quickly. However, I think as we get double attacks from both sides, the Geonosians might start getting split on where they're supposed to be firing, and then some clones might be able to slip through the cracks and get some kills. We can already see it happening over here. As clone troopers come through, they kill those guards against the wall there, and they've also started to pick off a few of the Geonosians over this way. This is where the clone DC-15X troopers, which there are a bunch of them, there's one right here, they're going to come into play massively. If they can snipe out a lot of these Geonosians, it'll make the job for the rest of the clone troopers way easier. Now on this side, the standard DC-15A and Cs are going to be the winners of this whole thing because it is close quarters. How's the other side doing? So the clones still haven't gone down here. The clones finally seem to be pushing fully through this way, but there are more droids down this tunnel waiting for them. Then they have to go through here, just to get to the front hive. So these clone troopers have definitely gone the very long way, and it is a very good thing that we put thousands and thousands of clone troopers in this battle, because otherwise the clones would be absolutely cooked. There would have no chance. Oh, that is a lot of clone troopers stuck inside the wall there. Let's go ahead and open up another wall here so they can come on out of there. It's just ridiculous how the clones end up getting trapped in the walls. It really annoys me. I hate that part of the game. We'll open up a wall here as well so these guys can come through. I really don't want them going all the way back here because that would be a big pain in the buns. Looks like things quiet down over here yet again as the Geonosians have slain a huge number of the clone troopers over this way, but the clones will continue to push through. Let's watch a little bit of a time-lapse here as the clones do try and break through this area into the main hive of the Geonosian bugs. So far, so not good for the clones over in this direction. Oh, hiccup. They're just getting absolutely destroyed right here. Same with over this way. They haven't even made it into this area really yet. That is a problem. And if you look at the mini-map, blue are clones left alive, red are Geonosians. things are getting trickier and trickier for the clone troopers. They're just not managing to break through really anywhere, and they're getting clobbered at this point. No bueno in the slightest. Why don't we go ahead and we'll actually leave the clones highlighted here in blue, and we'll watch both sides here as the clones do attempt to come through, but I'm not sure they're gonna manage to do this. This seems like they're getting hard stopped at these choke points, but just maybe if they can facilitate something here at the bitter end, they'll manage to do it, but it's looking rough. A few minutes have gone by, and actually the clones have kind of clutched it up. They haven't defeated the room, but they've killed a lot of these troopers and also made a lot of the survivors suppress. Now these guys down in this pretty much trench holding their eggs, this is going to be tough because only their heads will be peeking out and their guns, so actually killing those guys is going to be brutal. Now the clones in doing so did take significantly more losses. By the way, get out of the tunnel. I'm tired of you guys just hiding in the tunnels. It's really annoying. Let's anti-derp these guys. I mean, this is just stupid. We have the anti-derp rule for a reason. Sometimes I just forget to use it. But they're actually making progress over here. Now, over this way, these guys, not so much making the progress. We'll open that up so they get out of the wall there. These guys are shifting this way, so that's good. We do still have a whole block of Geonosians over this way, and then this entire alleyway is still alive with Geonosians. So they might be able to take the actual egg room here, but taking the rest of the area might be a whole different situation, as those tunnels are still fully loaded. Now, I would say probably, based on the minimap, maybe 200 to 300 clone troopers remain. It's kind of hard to tell because all the dots are really clustered together. But it is still a substantial number. Why don't we actually check how many kills some of these Geonosians have? 0, 6, 6, 4, 3, 2... none, sad, none, oh my god, none, wow, that's pathetic, 4, none, wow, okay, guys, come on, this guy's got none, oh my god, guys, this guy's got 2, that is, definitely a smidge pathetic right there from the Geonosian defenders. Let's continue to watch, though. This is actually spicing up a little bit, but it is going to be a long play to see what happens at the end of the day. Okay, so the clones wiped out more of these Geonosians. These guys are just chilling, though. They are not going down. They're also not really fighting. And the clones instead seem to be vying to flank these guys more so because they're actually firing at them. Now, if we look, there's not too many clone troopers remaining. This guy's got 8 kills. He is actually carrying with his DC-15X. Holy cow, making 55 proud. Now, on this side, there are still quite a number of Geonosians, and then these guys are also trying to kind of tunnel through this way to go and assist them. So we kind of have a meeting of the clones within this tunnel over here. If they can combine forces, they might be able to wipe out this tunnel completely and then push through to the end. But it is going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, as we do have a ton of Geonosians out here. Oh, and then there's also these guys still chilling over that way. So it's going to be tough, but at least they're getting the double-pronged attack, which is certainly better than nothing. Why don't we continue watching, because this is a long one. Well, guys, it's been another 10 minutes here, and the clones are still basically just in standoff stance. They are pushing down this way, just not very quickly, very slowly. In fact, there we go! There's some kills! It looks like they're cleaning up over here. Let's go in fast motion for a bit here and just... yeah. Get them bugs! Get them bugs, boys! There's just a few left. There we go, popping them. I think that's it for the bug room. So at the very least, the hive's eggs have been captured. Now it's about this, and we have a multitude of clones kind of coming in the flanks of these droids here. So this would be the opportune time for these guys to push out as well. Don't you think? Maybe that would be a good idea, boyos? We'll see if they actually end up doing that, because the clones like to not do that. They like to chill. Big chill vibe. Have some brewskis with the clone homies. Yeah, pick up a couple Twilix at the bar. Have some death sticks, you know. Alright. Well, these clone troopers are still stationary. The other guys are doing a nasty flank here. Look at this. They're actually making progress. This gives me hope that the clone troopers might actually manage to secure a W. I still kind of have my doubts, to be completely honest with you guys, but I feel like there is a possibility now. We have kind of another bunch up of Geonosians here. Another area where I forgot to distribute them around the cover. That's my bad. But they are dying pretty easily out here. This is definitely an easier bit of Geonosian to kill out in the open, because they're farther away from the door, which makes the angle to shoot them a lot easier than the other guys. But the other guys went down easy peasy too. There we go. Now there's just this alleyway here, and this alleyway is cutting up a few of these clone troopers pretty easily, but there's still plenty more back here to go through. And we shall see if the Geonosians can manage to stop these guys from advancing too hard. Here we go. Here they come. They're pushing through. Oh my gubernatorial. My cat is coughing up a hairball. No. Not on my floor. No. Alright, I think he stopped. Oh no, he's still going. Oh lord. Oh god. Okay, I think it was a false alarm. He stopped hacking up his hairball. There we go. Clones do defeat that section right there. Wait, there's still a single Geonosian. Oh, he's stuck in the wall. Here, sacrifice. He just got killed with the butt of his gun. Wow. Alright, well, we do have one last holdout of Geonosians over here. Let's go ahead and start sending a few clones this way to get the ball rolling on them. And hopefully this attracts the rest of the clones. Yes, it does. Beautiful. Okay, the rest of the clones coming through. Early losses happening quickly over here. But the Geonosians, they have barely any troopers left. I think we are going to squeeze out a clone trooper victory here. Finally, it's about dang time. This simulation has been running for 3 hours now. That's insane. They're recording this at 1 p.m. when the Patriots game started. And now it is 4:15. That's crazy. I won't spoil the Patriots game in case I recorded it. Yeah. Alright. Just a few more Geonosians, and there we go. The clone troopers get the fat W there. Red are dead clone troopers, yellow are dead Geonosians. Clones took thousands in losses here, and you can see the major choke points where they got held up big time, but they end up getting the W. And you can look at the minimap for the number of clone troopers left alive. It looks like maybe 200 left alive across the battlefield. Not too bad. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.